start to the new year. At least 10 people feared killed and over 30 injured after a vehicle moved into a crowd in New Orleans, according to initial reports. Unconfirmed reports say there was an exchange of fire with the police after the driver got down from that vehicle. The incident happened a few hours ago at the Canal and Bourbon Street in New Orleans, according to multiple news reports. People have been advised to stay away from the scene of the incident, which is under control now. A CBS News report quoting a witness said that a vehicle crashed into a crowd at high speed and then the driver got down and started firing a weapon, after which there was an exchange of fire with the police. Let's get you the latest that's coming in from New Orleans that we've been able to gather at the moment.
The city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation. You'll hear more after me. However, I have been in direct contact with the White House, with Governor Landry, and of course a unified command who is present here. What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due to this tragedy. In addition to that, I'm asking the public to stay clear of 8 blocks around Bourbon Street. Stay clear from Bourbon Street, 8 blocks around. Very active, and again, a unified command is in place right now.
We had this event started at about 3:15. It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. It was not a DUI situation. This is a more complex and more serious based on the information we have right now. With respect to numbers, we have right now, and as you already know, this could change throughout the day. We do know that there are 26 injured people who are at UMC Hospital. We know we have 4 at Turo, 4 at Ochsner Baptist, 1 at Tulane, but even as I was walking out the door, I believe I have an unconfirmed additional people who have been taken to other area hospitals, possibly on the east side. But we will give you as many correct numbers as we can as the day progresses.
Well, absolutely tragic start to the new year here in the United States. So we have this situation, and I think what we can gather from the recent police chief press conference and statements from the FBI and also from the mayor is that this is an ongoing situation. This has not been resolved yet. They have closed off 8 blocks around Bourbon Street, which is the centre where this car ploughed into the crowd. And they've asked people to stay well away from that area. In part, we believe, because, as they said, they are looking for IED explosives. They found at least 1 at that scene. So it looks like this is very much an ongoing situation. With regard to the suspect himself, we know that he's a man who had a pickup truck, that he drove very intentionally into a crowd of people, that he went around police cordons in able to do that. Police chief saying there were 300 officers out on the streets overnight with people who were obviously celebrating the New Year's Eve, and that he very intentionally went around those and got around and managed to get into the crowds. And a quote from them in which they said he was hell-bent on creating carnage. So very much an intentional act. Very tragic, as we're seeing at least 10 people have been killed. More than 30, as many as 34 now believed to be hospitalized with injuries. It's unclear how serious those injuries are, but clearly some of them will be if they were affected by this car ploughing into the crowds. We also heard from the police chief that the suspect actually shot at police officers as well. So presumably they were trying to stop him in some way, and they were actually shot in this incident. Again, we don't know if the police officers survived or if they're among those who are either killed or in hospital. But certainly this person didn't just use his car as a weapon, he also had a gun on him. And if he is also related to the IED explosives, then this is, a multiple level incident.
Very disturbing information coming in from New Orleans there. Mohammed Ghazali of NDTV has been following this very closely. Ghazali, what have you been picking up from news reports as well as social media inputs that are coming in at the moment? Obviously, first-hand information, we just heard some voices there from New Orleans.
See, the figures have been updated. Around 34 people are injured now, and the casualties is still 10. But it is being feared that more people are injured in this attack. Besides this, the identity of the driver who was driving that SUV or the truck, as they're quoting here, that is still not known because the agents are not disclosing the identity of the person right now. But the presence of IED certainly classifies it as a terror incident. And that is more severe because this is happening on a day because when people were celebrating New Year, a similar incident had happened in Germany. And even back then, after the incident, a wider alert was issued in Europe that perhaps there were inputs and intel agencies reports suggesting that on the day of New Year celebrations, there will be a certain gathering. So right now, yet again, after this attack, there has been a kind of alarm, a kind of warning to people, not just at this particular area of incident, but also in general, that huge gatherings, wherever people have gathered, they have to be cautious because of this kind of incident which has been reported today.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Mohammed Ghazali. There are all indications of a premeditated attack there. Obviously, no other information that you're picking up from social media about any kind of statements that's coming in from the police or from the administration in Washington, D.C.? Right, we seem to have lost the line with Mohammed Ghazali. Now back home, moving